12,312,301,298th time. Got it. Hello friends, and welcome back to ReddX, your source for the freshest daily Reddit content. And today we are jumping into rSlash, Am I the Antagonist? We'll have to dig through the comments a bit. I know you guys are into that, and you can leave comments of your own, and I'd appreciate that. So without any further ado, let's jump into these stories. Am I the antagonist for calling ourselves vegan? So, we're both vegan and have been for years. Last year we got a beautiful cat who is the grandbaby neither of our parents will ever have. She's obviously an obligate carnivore and we've been feeding her kibble and wet food. Unfortunately, where she came from wasn't a very good situation, and she had horrible teeth when we rescued her. It's now come to a point where if she's in pain, she doesn't want to eat the kibble, and wet food will just make it worse. We went on a website for raw feeding animals, and we bought her some chicken necks and chicken hearts. According to the vet, this should encourage her to use her teeth as it smells more appetizing than space nuggets. Space nuggets. We've obviously been quite uncomfortable with this as it's raw meat in our otherwise vegan home, but we'd do anything for our little gremlin, so it's worth it. We've since had some friends over who were horrified when we got the raw meat out and asked if we weren't vegan, and we said that we were and still are, but that the kitty's not. They're now saying that we're fake vegans and we don't care about animal welfare if we're feeding her raw meat. What? Your friends are stupid. We don't see the issue, as these are part of a chicken that humans probably wouldn't eat, and we're following what our vet told us to keep our baby at optimal health. In our minds, these parts of already slaughtered animals would have just been thrown away anyways. This has been quite a bit of drama in our friend group, as some people are now accusing us of being hypocrites, while the other half say that we're just caring for our cat. Are we the antagonist here? Also, here's a picture of Kitty. Also edited. If we didn't feed her raw meat, she would have kibble instead, but she's reluctant to eat that when her teeth are sore. This one's pretty simple, cut and dry. The cat needs to eat meat. If the cat can't eat kibble, then yeah, I think chicken necks and hearts are probably a good way to go. I swear I would cut out anybody from that friend group who is telling me how I'm supposed to feed my cat. It's none of your business anyways. Here's a nice big fat comment. Dubs the Cat says, their friends saying OP and their partner don't care about animal welfare if they're feeding their cat raw meat. Like, yeah, I get veganism as a moral principle and lifestyle choice, but also you can't advocate for animal welfare and animal rights and then criticize people for actually attempting to properly care for and help an animal. They're ostensibly telling OP that they'd rather OP neglect and abuse their pet than feed it meat, but I genuinely don't understand the hypocrisy. You can't abstain from eating or buying animal products, at least partially, because you're against cruelty to animals, and then say, well, but feeding an obligate carnivore meat is wrong. If you were a true vegan and really cared about animal welfare, then you just let it slowly starve to death. Feeding an animal that requires meat to live when you're a vegan does not make you a fake vegan or a person who doesn't care about animal welfare. It makes you an actual animal lover who puts your money where your mouth is instead of compromising your personal beliefs the first time they're challenged because the meat industry is evil. Yeah, it is, but so's neglecting your obligate carnivore pet just because you believe that one or two people abstaining from buying meat is going to make a major difference in the meat industry's success or the worldwide fight against animal cruelty. There's a major moral difference between you buying meat to consume yourself and you buying meat to sustain an animal that both needs the meat to survive and is incapable of procuring that meat on its own as an indoor domestic animal. Your friends are idiots and bigots for trying to gaslight you into believing that adequately and appropriately caring and providing for an animal that you are directly responsible for makes you a fake, hypocritical vegan. Whew, round of applause. Well said. I also don't understand the statement that chicken necks and chicken hearts are going to be thrown away. Bro, bring them down to the Philippines. We'll eat them, I'm telling you. Deep fried chicken neck, that's delicious. You put some chicken hearts in the sisig, oh, so chewy, so good. Don't sleep on it just because it's not like part of the normal musculature that you're used to. Every part of an animal's delicious, bruh. Although if you're a vegan, I probably don't try it. Anyways, let's get into the next story. Am I the antagonist for completely banning my daughter from using anything internet related? Sounds bad. Let's see. So my daughter, 12-year-old female, is literally in love with Roblox. She plays it every day with her friends, any chance she gets. Obviously, my wife and I aren't happy with this, but she does well enough in school and has her priorities straight when it comes to education. One day, my daughter came crying to me that her account got hacked by someone on Roblox and that she lost her entire account. I was freaking out because I let her use my credit card on the game to buy things. I was with her while she purchased the items. I did some research and realized that the game doesn't save credit card information, so that helped me to calm down. I helped her make a new account. I asked her if she wanted to reset the password by going through the email, but she said that she just wanted a new account, and all was fine. A couple of days ago, the bank let me know that there was an enormous amount of strange transactions occurring at odd times during the day, like 3 a.m. to 6 a.m. The amount of money spent was like $1,200 damn dollars. Roblox just ate your stimulus, dude. And I had to go through a long and tough process of having to change my credit card info and freezing my account for the time being. I asked my daughter if this was any way related to her Roblox account being hacked, and she said no, because how could they if the game itself doesn't save the credit card number? I was fooling around on the iPad browsing YouTube when I saw a bunch of recommended videos like free Robux, how to get 1 million Robux. I went through her history and found all these third-party shady sites and how she had been putting her account info into it. I also went into the hacked account by going through her email and resetting the password to find out that she had been taking fucking pictures of my credit card and the CVV number on the back and asking her friends how to enter the information to use the credit card. She'd also sent our street address and postal code. God. I think you need to have a frank talk with your daughter, dude. You obviously have not educated her properly on the dangers of the internet. Anyways, I absolutely blew up when I saw this. I ran up to her room and probably gave her one of the sternest lectures I've ever given as a parent. Ooh, a stern lecture. I'm sure that drove the point home. I told her I couldn't believe she lied to me. She cried and told me she was sorry repeatedly. I blocked all access from the internet on the iPad and told her that she will no longer be allowed to use anything internet related except for school. I blocked the Roblox website itself and left it at that. She can no longer use the internet for the time being, but I'll still allow her to watch TV, talk on the phone with friends, and if she asks, she can go into FaceTime calls with her friends. My wife says I need to relax and that I need to undo this punishment immediately since I never taught her the dangers of privacy over the internet. Fact. And because there's nothing else for her to do during social distancing. The thing is, yeah, I somewhat agree with that, but she lied to my face about something that was extremely serious. And she went through my wallet to get my credit card without my knowledge. I can't just let that go. Am I the antagonist? So, my initial impression, also my wife's initial impression, because she's here listening to these stories with me, is that OP is in fact the antagonist. It has a lot to do with respect. It has a lot to do with a lack of education. You didn't teach your child properly what information you need to keep safe on the internet. So I think it all comes down to a lack of respect and a lack of communication, which is generally the fault of the parent. Work on your communication skills with your daughter and also with your wife. Since you're disagreeing on the punishment, why would you not take your wife aside earlier and be like, what do you think I should do about this? Then you could both come to something that's like sort of amicable. Now this isn't like an egregious am I the antagonist sort of thing, you should go to jail, whatever, but you know, just a nudge in the right direction. Yes, you're the antagonist. I know you can do better. You know what I mean? So let's dig into these comments and see if they agree with my impression. Top post says, not the antagonist. Huh. Sounds like you reacted pretty much how anybody else would have reacted, especially given that she lied and spent $1,200. I say the fact that she's grounded like this during social distancing is a double whammy. That'll really help her remember not to take your credit card or lie. I agree with your wife about explaining to her the dangers of doing that. Did you sit down and have a talk with her about it? Also, did you establish how long she lost internet privileges? Maybe the post wasn't clear, but I don't think it was her that purchased $1,200 worth of things. Some of the purchases weren't even related to Roblox. I'm very certain that those sites she entered her account info into went through her account and saw pictures of my credit card and then used it to buy things via my bank account. She probably did realize to a certain point that you're not supposed to take the credit card and stuff like this, but I don't think the actual, like, totality of the ramifications were perfectly clear in her mind. So yeah, they're both kind of the antagonists, but the OP is by far the larger antagonist in my view, just because he didn't keep the lines of communication open, didn't communicate to his daughter how to be safe online. He probably was just like, cool, you're playing Roblox for 8 hours a day, just go ahead, I'm gonna do my own thing over here. And really, if your kids are online, you should be monitoring things that they're doing. You think I don't go through my daughter's TikTok messages? I do! But that's that's an Am I the Antagonist for another day. Anyways, let's jump into another story. Am I the antagonist for saying, what did she expect? When my girlfriend told me her best friend's affair partner had vanished into thin air when she told him she was pregnant. What did she expect? Oh no, wait, we're not supposed to say that. I've been with my girlfriend coming up 1 year now. Her best friend had been having a 3-month affair with a married man. She knows he's married. She found out she was pregnant a month back, and he completely disappeared into thin air. He has blocked or deleted her from Tinder, and she never got his real name. They both went by aliases. He's stupid. And now she's desperately searching for him on Facebook, but nothing even in the ballpark has come up. The guy offered her abortion money and offered to go with her. She refused because she has a 3-year-old, and she wants a sibling for her baby. I can't say I didn't see him disappearing. He's a piece of crap coward for having an affair in the first place, so of course he's gonna abscond from a pregnancy from his side chick too. From my perspective, it's fairly obvious he was using my girlfriend's friend, and she should have either known that or had been prepared to deal with the consequences. My girlfriend is very worried about her friend and keeps talking to me about it and asking what I think, even though I've made it clear that I don't approve of either of their trashy behavior. I told her, well, what did she expect? She keeps asking me if I think, as a man, is it possible that he'll come back? I said, hell no. Got that. I like OP. He's honest as hell. Sometimes, especially within the context of a couple talking, let's be frank, we won't always be politically correct. She flipped her lid and said that my attitude towards her pregnant friend is misogynistic and that I'm being heartless. I don't think I am. And I feel like I'm allowed to have such an obvious opinion as that. You're definitely not the antagonist here, OP. I think your girlfriend is just like hurt on behalf of her friend and wants somebody who will make the situation feel better. You know what I mean? And instead of showering her with white lies and telling her, yeah, he'll probably come back, it's gonna be okay. You're just like, yeah, he's not coming back. Who the hell would come back? Think about it logically. If you were having an affair, the chick doesn't know your name at all, and then she's like, hey, I'm pregnant. You could just disappear. You could be like, okay, deuces. Nobody ever find out about it. Like, there's no reason for him to come back at all. Unless, you know, he wants to see the kid 5 years down the road or something like that. This is another case of play stupid games, win stupid prizes. And the fact that she's like, no, I don't want to have an abortion. My 3-year-old wants a playmate or whatever. Then, dude, deal with the fallout. Why do you expect... What? Why do you expect a man would come back just because you decided not to have an abortion? Everybody here is operating independently, okay? God. Stupid. I think everybody in the story is a moron besides the OP. I'm just gonna be real. Let's see what the comments have to say. Maybe they're a little more gentle. Top comment, not the antagonist. It doesn't take a man to see that he's not coming back. What did she expect him to do? Leave his partner for her when they didn't even tell each other their actual names? I think him offering to pay for an abortion was a clear and not very subtle hint that he wants nothing to do with a child, and an extension her if she has that child. Nailed it. I feel sorry for the unborn child. Her toddler doesn't have a dad in his life either. Just sad. She's a very educated and successful lady. Educated don't mean smart, though. Not saying she's struggling, but it's good for kids to have both parents where possible. Both have failed this kid before it's even out of the womb yet. Heavy facts, heavy facts. I think just like the first story, this is a pretty cut and dry case. Somebody might disagree with me in the comments, but yeah, this is a hard one to stare in the face and be like, okay, this is the actual truth. But yeah, it's the actual truth. You didn't even know the dude's name. You trying to stalk him on Facebook through a fake name? It ain't gonna work. I'll give you the most generic name ever if I ain't gonna give you my name. Like, yeah, my name's John Smith. Alright, good luck finding John Smith on Facebook. Damn. If she wants a baby, she should own it and stop trying to find him. If they were in a relationship properly, or at least had been honest enough for real names, then fine, get child support. But if they were basically having anonymous sex, knowing that he was married, and she kind of wanted to get pregnant too, then she needs to own that and just raise the kid on her own. And I agree, knowing where you come from is important to kids, even if you don't have a relationship with the other parent. Not the antagonist. It's pretty unanimous here, I think. So anyways, let's hop into that last story. Am I the antagonist for putting my dog's WEEWEE pads on the bathroom floor because my boyfriend has bad aim and keeps missing the toilet? My boyfriend, 30 male, and I, 28 female, have been together for about a year. When our city implemented lockdown for the virus, he decided to quarantine with me at my apartment, as I live alone and have a nicer apartment, and he has several roommates. Mostly it has been going well, and thankfully we both still have jobs, except in the first few weeks, I started noticing that the bathroom floor was suddenly always wet around the toilet. Ugh! The sink is across the room from the toilet, so it's unlikely to be from the sink. At first I thought it might be water, but soon I realized that it was definitely pee. I asked boyfriend about it nicely, and he apologized and said sometimes he has bad aim. I asked him to try a little harder, and he said, sure. The floor continued to be frequently spattered with piss, and a few weeks later I confronted him about it again because I think it's pretty gross to step in his pee several times a week. And it seems like an easy thing to fix. If he misses the toilet, I think the very least he could do is make sure to clean it up with toilet paper or a Clorox wipe. The cleaning supplies even live in a cabinet directly over the toilet. He said sure, sorry, he would try to remember to do that. Ugh. Another week has passed, and while maybe he's doing this sometimes, I've continued to step in splatters of his pee and wipe it off the floor and clean the floor several times a week. I thought about asking him to just pee into the bathtub or something instead, because I don't understand how you can pee on the floor by accident so often and not notice and not clean it up. Last night, I got up to use the bathroom in the middle of the night and absolutely stepped in piss for the 12,312,301,298th time. Got it. I had it, and I didn't want to pick a fight or ask him again since it seems clear that he can't or won't change. So I got one of my dog's WEEWEE pads from when he was a puppy. He's well trained now. And I cut it up and taped it down to make a sort of skirt or mat around the floor near the toilet to at least absorb the piss. Boyfriend saw it this morning, and he's furious with me, saying that I'm calling him a dog, comparing him to an animal, etc. Honestly, I was not thinking about it like that at all. I was just trying to be resourceful and solve the problem for myself, since I don't like piss on my bathroom floor, and don't like stepping in it. I didn't feel like arguing about it anymore, and putting a material specifically meant to absorb pee around the area that he keeps peeing on by accident seemed like a practical solution. Am I the antagonist? Absolutely not, dude. What is this question? You don't want to be treated like an animal? Then stop acting like a freaking animal. After 30 years, you can't learn how to control your wiener? You can't learn how to aim your little pee-pee? What the heck? Honestly, I might even call it grounds for dismissal, depending on how good the rest of your relationship is. I mean, that just shows a serious lack of respect. It's like he pees all over the floor, you ask him to clean it up, and he's like, yeah, whatever, I'll try. And then you're the one that ends up cleaning up the pee, like, multiple times a week. Just massively unacceptable. I feel so bad for you, OP. My god. And what's wrong with sitting down? Make him sit down to pee. I understand it's like a manhood thing, blah, 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 but sitting down to pee is actually really nice. I do it in the morning when I know my pee is gonna jump out in all the different directions. Maybe a little TMI there. But yeah, take your phone, you know, go chill out in the bathroom for a minute and a half and make your little pee-pee in the toilet. Maleficent Hunter in the comments. I'm a mom to 4 boys and I make them sit down in the shared bathrooms. It's so gross, and I don't get it at all. How do you not notice your piss everywhere? That's a fair point. He definitely notices and just goes, it'll evaporate, or something like that. Health and Safety Dan says, I once saw a comment on a Guardian article from a gentleman who said that he liked to sometimes treat himself to a sit-down wee, and I still think about that sometimes. Treat yourself, sir. Hell yeah, why stand when you could sit should just be a part of everyone's rules for life. Standing desks are an abomination. Ooh, shots fired. Standing to pee is a waste of a perfectly good opportunity to catch a moment of peace. So I think it's pretty unanimous on this one as well. OP, you're not the antagonist. That boyfriend, he needs some training. You train the dog, now you gotta train the boyfriend. Anyways, friends, I hope that you've enjoyed this episode. I hope that you'll like, comment, and or subscribe. If you did, keep yourselves safe and always wash your hands. Thank you as always for listening. I shall see you then, and until then, friends, bye-bye.